So I have a question for you.
Uh-huh.
Why is this called Old Wives' Tale? Do you know?
It's supposed to be just like legends, stories that were passed down from woman to woman
Okay.
before writing was even a thing,
Okay, that makes sense.
before science was
Okay.
a thing.
Yeah.
Just ways to help you predict.
Yeah. To help ease, at least use it as a distraction.
Yeah.
So
I know
that.
your mom didn't know
Oh yeah, my
any
mom.
of
Yeah.
her baby's
All 8.
genders.
Yeah.
And my mom didn't either. My mom actually shared with me that in Mexico, you don't get an ultrasound. Well, when she was pregnant with me in the 90s, and my sister also in the 90s, there were no ultrasounds.
Hello, I'm Tijani Musa.
And I'm Yasmin Musa, and this is how we're doing it.
Welcome to our How We're Doing It. Here we'll share stories about our journey and experiences of being first-generation college graduates, our family, buying our first home, moving across the country, and living a debt-free lifestyle. We do so in an authentic, fun, and educational way to help other first-generation immigrants with similar paths. So, Yasmin, tell me, what are we talking about today?
Today, we're talking about old wives' tales.
Oh, that sounds like old chisme tales.
Old chisme that DK predicts the gender of the baby.
I like it. I like it. So let's just set the stage for you. If you and your partner are expecting a baby and you just can't wait to figure out the gender, you just can't wait for 10 weeks, at least 10 weeks, when you do the non-invasive chromosome testing, known as the NIPT testing, you just can't wait. Let alone waiting all the way to delivery to find out the gender. This is the episode for you. And this is exactly how my wife feels. She just can't wait. Whenever she's pregnant, she wants to find out the gender the first week.
Yeah, I give huge props to people that can wait until delivery because I'm not that type of person that can just hold off and not know. And with Jasleen, we waited pretty late because we were timing in terms of when we're going to announce our pregnancy, timing to make sure our gender reveal was done at a specific date that it had to be like after Ramadan at the time. So it was so many factors were playing into it. I felt like I waited forever. And then with this pregnancy, I was like, no, only a couple weeks. I only slightly waited a little longer because my sister was coming back from deployment and I wanted her to be a part of it. That's the only reason I waited. Otherwise, I would have found out the minute we got the test done.
Well, if you're anything like my wife, who doesn't want to wait or just can't wait, this is the episode for you. We are going to break down some of the old wives' tales, and she's going to talk to you about them, and we're going to just break them down for you so that, you know exactly what to look for. Maybe also we would include a link on the show notes. So read the show notes so that you have a sense of reference. We'll leave the link there so you have descriptions of what we're talking about too. So which one of them do you want to go with first? And give us the category.
So this is based on symptoms, okay?
Okay.
Based on symptoms, supposedly, if you're craving sweet things, it's a girl.
Oh, okay.
And if you're craving more like salty, savory, it's a boy.
Huh. So give me like when you were pregnant with Jasleen, what were you craving? Do you remember?
Salty. So I was convinced she was a boy.
Ah, man. And what ended up being
a girl, Jasleen.
What about this pregnancy now?
It's also salty and savory. Like I have some of the sweet cravings, but I base it off of like that first trimester. What am I craving during that time? And I actually don't crave a lot of sweets the first trimester.
Okay.
I crave them more the second and third trimester.
Okay. All right. What's the second one that you got?
Heartburn. So they say if you have more heartburn, it means you're having a girl and that she'll be born with a bunch of hair, like head full of hair.
Wow. Okay.
And then if you're having a boy,
Uh-huh.
you're not going to experience it as much.
Okay.
I don't know if that's true or not.
I want to say, I don't remember us talking so much about heartburn.
No, I don't think it's ever been a like prominent symptom
Right.
of pregnancy for me.
Okay. So I guess it's body to body.
Yeah.
It depends on the type of pregnancy that you get. For us, this is not applicable as much.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll go. We're talking about you go ahead. Discuss the third one because it's talking about morning sickness,
Ugh.
which we all know it's not just morning sickness. It's an
all day
sickness. Right.
All day sickness. I'm convinced the term was probably done by some guy who's never been pregnant.
Probably some white guy.
Probably white. Yes. They probably are the ones that said, "Oh, it's morning sickness." No, it is all day sickness.
Yeah.
Okay?
Let's just get that straight.
Like, up until my second trimester, I was still having, it wasn't in the morning, it wasn't in the evening, it was like at night. Like after dinner, I felt nauseous. So it's an all-day sickness.
Very
Don't
far
believe
from the
them.
morning.
Exactly.
All right.
Okay.
What do you got here?
So they say if you have a lot of morning sickness and you just don't feel well, it's a girl.
Okay.
And then if you don't have any morning sickness, just maybe some mild nausea, then it's a boy.
Yeah, well, I remember like this particular pregnancy, you had a lot more morning, and they
So
started
much
early.
more. And it started very early, and then
Yeah.
I had like actual vomiting with this pregnancy.
Right.
So I think this is, I mean, it's a wife's tale.
What's arguable? What is the word?
Arguable?
Yeah, I think that's the word.
Yeah.
I think it definitely does not apply to us.
I don't think it applies for me.
Yeah.
Even with Jasleen, because the way my mom explained it to me in terms of the wives' tale, a girl takes away the woman's beauty. So the woman's gonna feel so sick, so nauseous, ugly during pregnancy. Whereas with the boy, you feel like you're glowing, you feel pretty. You are supposed to not have any of those symptoms. So my mom said both of her pregnancies, she felt like crap. She had so much morning sickness, all day sickness. So therefore, she knew it was girls.
Wow.
For me, this second time around, she was like, "Oh, you have the symptoms of a girl."
She was so certain.
She was.
You were with her too. Up until very close to the gender reveal that
I was unsure.
Like 50-50.
I was 50-50.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was 50-50.
Well, to go with what you just said about what your mom told you, I think this one right here explains exactly that, right? This one talks about the hair and nails.
Yes. It ties right into exactly what my mom said.
Yeah.
If you're having a girl, your nails and your hair are going to be brittle, dry, thin. Whereas with the boy, you're going to have shiny, luscious hair.
You're going to glow.
Healthy nails. You're going to glow. It goes exactly with my mom's old wife tale.
But did it apply to you though with the pregnancy?
I feel like with both, no. With Jasleen, I felt a lot prettier than I do with this pregnancy.
So the opposite for you then?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, well, I guess that leads us to tell them we know the gender.
Oh, yeah. Break it down.
Said it.
Break it down. Yeah. Break it down. What are we expecting this time around?
This time around, we're expecting a boy.
Let's go.
Jasleen is going to have a baby brother.
That's right. Alhamdulillah to that.
I was going to wait till the end of the episode to reveal that, but as we're going through them, we're talking about our experience, so it's hard to keep the secret.
Well, and it goes in line with my wife. She just can't keep a secret.
No, I can't.
She just can't wait. So now that you know the gender, so we just keep going. And what's the next one?
So now we're going to move on to like changes, like physical changes with your body.
Okay.
So based on the position of your baby bump, if you're carrying high, the baby bump sits higher on the belly, that means it's a girl.
Okay.
But if you're carrying lower in the abdomen, closer to the pelvic bone, then it's a boy.
Okay. Guys, if you don't know what this is, just ask your lady, ask your wife or your partner to explain what this is. I have no idea, but I know
I don't agree with this one.
Okay.
And the reason is I already carried one child, so I feel like I'm going to carry a lot lower than I carried my first.
Because your body remembers what to do.
My body remembers, yeah.
Okay. Wow.
So I think that impacts it. So I don't think that's 100% accurate, but I don't know.
Okay. So this had to do with if you're a rookie being your first pregnancy, or if you're a veteran, if you carry low or higher depends on how many times you've done it.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, that's a fair statement. All right, what about the next one that talks about baby bump or the shape?
The shape of the baby bump. So if you have a wide baby bump, it means you're having a girl.
Okay.
But if it's narrow, it pops forward as if you have like a little basketball under your shirt, then it's a boy.
Okay.
I also don't agree with this one because I feel like women carry differently just based on genetics and their body type.
Yeah.
I'm 4'11". There is not much room for this baby bump to go except sideways, up and down.
Or drop, yeah.
Yeah. Like there's no way. So
yeah.
Maybe it's more applicable to women with different body type.
Yeah, that are taller. But I remember we had a friend, I don't know if I could even say her name here, but she had like the biggest baby bump in Virginia. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do know who you're talking about.
She has a boy too. That first pregnancy was a boy.
Yeah.
And that's like the biggest. It's almost as if like it was falling off. Like that's how big the pregnancy was.
But I want to say with her second, it was about the same. Or maybe even bigger.
Maybe you're right then. It's probably based on your physique. Like
I just think it's based on your like body type. Yeah. And then your height is going to play into it too.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Then let's go to the next one that we're going to talk about here. What we have here. The next one is
partner weight gain.
Ah, okay.
So they say if it's a girl, the partner's going to gain weight.
Mm-hmm.
And then if it's a boy, your weight is going to stay the same.
I don't know about this one. Because, our situation was closer to the end of COVID-19 in 2021. So I attributed most of my weight to COVID because I was just sitting at home doing work. So No.
I remember very clearly with our first pregnancy, all the sweets I did not eat, you started eating for me. All the sweets. And you don't like sweets.
No, I don't. You're right. No wonder. I was like, why am I like freshman 15, freshman 20 up in this thing?
No, boo. It was like pregnancy 30.
Pregnancy 30. I was trying to downplay it, but you were right. I guess that one was applicable to us.
With the first pregnancy.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you feel like you've gained weight this pregnancy?
Maybe not as much.
I don't think you have as much.
Yeah. This pregnancy also fell in where I was also doing Ramadan. I was fasting, so I was eating a lot during my fasting, especially.
So did the last pregnancy, so.
Yeah. Were they this close, though? I guess they were. It was like 2 weeks. Yeah, plus or minus 2 weeks off. Yeah. Okay, that's fair. Maybe I just love food. And then what you just said, whatever you don't eat, I get to, But I think this is what happened. The first pregnancy, though, you did not eat as much leftovers. So I had to make up. I had to make up a lot. So
many food aversions.
Yeah. It's not as bad this time around.
I would make like a nice big meal, eat it one time, and then never want to have it again.
Exactly. And I'm left with cleaning up the portion of that food because in the next week there's new food coming. So that's probably also a good reason or excuse for me to.
Sure.
Yeah. All right. Let's go to the next one.
Well, now you have helpers. You have Leo and Jasmine to help you clean up the fridge.
Exactly.
So.
Exactly. So that's why we make more babies so they can help me with the fridge cleaning. What about the baby's heartbeat?
So they say if the baby's fetal heart rate is above 140, it's a girl.
Okay.
And if it's less than 140, it's a boy.
That's interesting because when we talk with whoever that lady is the nurse practitioner or the person that does the ultrasound, what are they called?
I think she's an
The
ultrasound
assistants?
tech.
Okay.
Ultrasound tech.
Yeah, the lab tech.
Ultrasound tech.
Ultrasound tech. When we speak with them, like when they say, oh yeah, the heart rate is around 140, they say that's normal. That's really good.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm guessing on average, that's what it, depending on the age of the baby, that's mostly what the average is after like the first few weeks.
I guess so. I'm sure there's
Yeah, there's science to it.
science.
We don't know. We don't know for
yeah.
sure. We don't know much about this one.
I mean, I've never remembered a number.
Right.
I just know they'll tell me when I'm there. They'll say, "Oh, this is the heartbeat," and
Right.
then they're like, "That's normal. That's healthy."
Right.
And that's all I take away with me is that it's a normal, healthy number.
That's yeah.
I don't remember exactly how much to predict the gender.
Yeah, that's pretty much what we look for. All right, the last one for this category is sleeping sides. What? All right, talk to me about this one.
So if you fall asleep on your right side,
Uh-huh.
it's a girl. If you fall asleep on your left side, it's a boy. I think this is complete crap because first off, I don't sleep on either side. I sleep on my stomach.
Right.
And when I'm pregnant, that is the hardest thing to deal with is that I cannot sleep on my stomach.
Cause yeah, you have no choice but to sleep on your sides.
Exactly, because otherwise I'm squishing the baby.
Right.
And I've read that up to like a certain amount of weeks, you can probably be okay still sleeping on your stomach.
Uh-huh.
I try to cut it off as soon as I can, just because I know I'm pregnant. I don't want to do anything that could potentially hurt the baby.
Right.
And so I stop almost as soon as I get a positive. I'm gonna stop sleeping on my stomach.
Right.
I also you can't sleep on your back because after 20 weeks, it does something where it messes with something else.
Right.
That could be potentially dangerous for you. It could
Right.
lead to like mom passing out.
Ooh.
And so I don't sleep on my back either. I don't lay flat on my back.
Wow. Okay.
So there's no other option but to go left or go right. And oh my goodness, with Jasleen, I got a big pregnancy pillow. I loved it. I slept on it great.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
This time around, that thing gave me such horrible back pain one night.
That is true.
That I threw it off of the bed and I refused to sleep with it. I literally just use a small little baby pillow to help protect my stomach while I'm sleeping now. And that's been the best thing.
Yeah, I agree with the last part. It's been the best thing for me too because I don't like that pillow taking up so much of my bed.
Yeah.
So
I get it. It's big. I got like the big U-shaped one.
yes.
So it takes up the whole bed.
Yes.
Or at least half of it, you know.
Yep. Yeah. So now we're good, and you're sleeping much better, right?
I am sleeping better.
Okay.
But I don't think side predicts gender. I just think it's whatever you're comfortable with.
Yeah, that one is crap, like you said. All right, now let's talk about methods. All right, predicting based on methods.
Okay.
Which one do you want to go with first?
Let's do the Mayan one.
Oh, okay. This must be personal to you, or it must be special to you, right? Can you tell me why?
So, my maiden last name is Mayan.
Yeah,
Zip.
There you go.
I was Yasmin Zip.
That's
Sanchez.
right. That's right.
And Zip. So in Mayan culture, the Zips were like the writers, the scribes of the tribe.
The secretaries.
I guess. all I got from it when I learned about it is that, well, the biggest takeaway is that they were smart, they were educated because they were the writers. And you got to remember that in those times, there were probably not a lot of people that were writing or reading.
Yeah.
So my lineage is full of smartness. And that's why I'm so bright.
Say that one more time.
That's why I'm so bright.
All right. All right, take me to the Mayan system.
Okay, so the Mayans, look at the year of the mother's birth
Okay.
and the year the baby is due for this prediction.
Okay. Okay.
So it's a girl if both years are even or odd. Okay.
Okay.
And then if it's a boy, if 1 year is even and the other is odd.
Huh.
Okay. So
All right.
I wrote this down.
Okay.
Because I wanted to make sure. So
you have more details on this.
yeah, so it's basically
Uh-huh.
like how old am I, right? So
Okay.
I'm 31.
Mm-hmm.
So that's odd.
Right.
And then the month that I conceived the baby is January, which is also odd.
Right.
So based on that,
If if 1 year is even and the other is odd, you're having a boy. If both years are even or odd, it's a girl. So based on that,
it's wrong.
it's wrong.
It's wrong, yeah.
Once again, the Mayans calculations is wrong.
Stop it. They didn't say the world was ending. They said the era was it was coming to an end. Okay, it was an end
how did
of
you
a
know?
phase.
How did you know what I was referring to?
because because you hate that I watched the movie 2012. I've literally seen it 2012 times
With your family.
with my family, because it's our go-to movie. Okay.
For the record, based on this all wives' tale, the Mayans once again are wrong in their calculations.
Whatever.
All right, moving on. What's the next
I still
one?
appreciate them, and I'm still a writer, and I'm smart. Okay.
You are smart. That I can give to you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, so now we're gonna move on to the Chinese
All
gender
right.
prediction.
Let's see what the Chinese people are saying.
So Chinese says
Uh-huh.
you look at mom's age,
Okay.
and then you look at the conception of the baby, like what month the baby was conceived,
Okay.
and then you look at mom's age at conception.
Okay.
So once again,
January and then
It's-
31. Okay.
right, 31.
Uh-huh. What does that tell us?
So that tells us
Uh-huh.
they have this like cute little prediction chart on the link that we're gonna share. You can go on there and do this yourself.
Okay.
If you're using the What to Expect app and you type in your birthday and then your due date, it'll also like calculate it for you.
Okay.
But for me, it said boy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
The Chinese.
Mm-hmm.
They got it right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. Wow.
So it says it's a girl if on the chart the mother's age and conception month intersect to indicate a girl, you'll see something that indicates that gender, like the word girl or a shade of pink.
Huh.
If the chart indicates boy, it might say boy or be a shade of blue. So remember, it's a chart that you have to look at. So like I said, the link that we'll share will have it, or you can go on What to Expect and also look up Chinese gender prediction, and it'll have a place where you can populate your birthday, the baby's conception,
Yeah.
or the baby's due date, and it'll give you an estimate.
That's good. All right. So it's been fun recording this episode. Maybe let's do one more. Let's do one more, and then we can wrap this one up. It's been really fun. I love talking about this. I have a question though. After we do the last one, I have a question.
Okay, the last one I'm gonna do.
Uh-huh.
It's literally. So I found out that I was pregnant, and a couple weeks later, me and Yazmin took a trip to Mexico to visit the family. We were going for my tia's 25th wedding anniversary.
Okay.
And I always take any opportunity I can to go see my abuelitos. I wanted them to see Yazmin, a little bit older.
Right.
So we went to Mexico. And when I got there, I told them the news. Now, I wasn't very far along. I had my first appointment at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Because we mentioned it in other episodes. I was having some bleeding during that first trimester, and we thought that I was having a miscarriage or an ectopic pregnancy.
Right.
And so we were seen around 6 weeks by my OB to confirm the pregnancy.
Right.
Now, okay, so by the time I'm going to Mexico, I have confirmed the pregnancy. We had a heartbeat, so everything was good. And so I get to Mexico, and I surprised everyone with the news that I was pregnant. Everyone was so excited. And a day before leaving, they wanted to do this fun little test to see what I was having.
Okay.
And I didn't know much about it, but I was like, okay, let's do it. So we used a fork and a spoon and 2 chairs.
Okay.
Someone in the family put one of each underneath a chair, like on the seat of the chair, and then they put cushions on top.
Okay.
And then they just had me pick a seat.
Okay.
I wasn't in the room when they were,
arranging it.
Okay. I came out because we were doing it in my grandma's backyard.
All right.
I come outside when they're ready for me. And they just have me sit, right? So without knowing, supposedly whatever chair you pick has the utensil depends on the gender, okay? So if you choose the seat that has the spoon, it's a girl.
Okay.
But if you choose the seat that has a fork, it's a boy.
Okay, which one did you pick?
The boy. I sat on the fork. So it was funny, actually. I touched both seats, and then I touched one, and then I changed my mind.
Wow.
And I went to the second one.
And the second one had the boy.
And the second one was a fork, and it was a boy.
Wow, look at that.
So it was too cute. Everybody was super excited because this time around, everybody was rooting for boy because we already have a girl. And after we did our gender reveal and we let them know that it was a boy, everyone was like, we knew it. The old wives' tales they could never go wrong.
Wow.
So all in all, guys, honestly, all of these are just cute, fun games, predictions that you can do until you find out the sex of your baby.
Right.
You can take the NIPT test. You can take it as early as 10 weeks.
Yes.
To help predict the gender of your baby. And then sometimes the test is or may not be correct. So you really don't know until you confirm the sex of the baby at your anatomy scan, which will be around 18 to 21 weeks or so.
Yeah.
Maybe 22. I don't know exact date, but I do know it's around 20 weeks. Okay.
Yes.
So, yeah, have fun in the meantime.
Yeah, you're right, because all of these tests, as accurate as the NIPT test is, the anatomy scan test, as accurate as they are, there is also margin of errors. They can also be wrong. And then the real test is when the baby is here, you get to tell what the gender is.
So an ultrasound, it really is your best bet.
Right.
And one point to remember is if you want to know beforehand, you can tell your provider. So if you want to know or if you don't want to know, you know, as soon as you walk into the room where you're having your ultrasound, you can say, we don't know the baby's gender yet, and we don't want to find out yet.
Yeah.
And we did that for one of our
appointments, yes,
because we hadn't done our gender reveal, but we had gotten the results back from our NIPT test. But we were waiting for my sister to come back from deployment to be here with us and celebrate it. So we just went in and told, the ultrasound tech, we don't know the baby's gender yet. Don't tell us.
Yes.
And then same thing with our doctor.
Yes. You have to tell her,
we don't know the baby's gender yet. Don't tell us. And she was really good. She forgot. They see so many patients.
Yeah.
She knew, but she forgot. And then right after we left, she was like, I'm going to find out right after we leave anyways.
Yeah, don't take it personal when they say, oh, yeah, I forgot about this. Just when you walk in, just let them know so that, you're all on the same page.
So there's no surprises.
Exactly.
So that, that's their job, you know. I'm sure they find ways to forget in case you don't want to know.
Exactly. So I have a question for you. Why is this called Old Wives' Tale? Do you know?
It's supposed to be just like legends, stories that were passed down from woman to woman.
Okay.
Before writing was even a thing.
Okay, that makes sense.
Before science was a thing.
Yeah.
Just ways to help you predict.
Yeah. To help ease, at least use it as a distraction.
Yeah.
So
I know your mom didn't know.
Oh yeah, my
any
mom.
Of
Yeah.
her babies.
All 8
genders.
Yeah.
And my mom didn't either. My mom actually shared with me that in Mexico, you don't get an ultrasound. Well, when she was pregnant with me in the 90s, and my sister also in the 90s, there were no ultrasounds.
Wow. Yeah.
They would measure, like with the measuring tape, the diameter of the belly. They would, I don't even know if like the fetal heart rate thing was a thing.
Wow.
But she just said, you just go in, they check, they measure the bump, and that's it. They ask you, are you feeling movement? And they don't check anatomy. Yeah. There could be so many things wrong with the baby, but you leave it up to God, right? Like, God knows best.
I'm telling you, facts. All of my siblings in Sierra Leone, it's all on God's mercy, because my mom had no prenatals, no postnatals, none of that stuff. She was eating more carbohydrates than proteins and all those things. So it was all God. And but we're here, healthy. We're good.
Did she deliver you guys with midwives?
Probably so.
Yeah.
Untrained midwives.
Oh, untrained ones,
yeah, like neighbors deliver the baby.
A neighbor that's already had a baby type thing. Yeah.
Probably an older woman who has gone through similar situations.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
In Mexico, that's how my grandma did it. But then my mom said she did deliver at a hospital.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You were more luckier and more advanced.
More advanced, yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Anything else? Do you have any more old wives' tales that we haven't discussed? Is there one that had to do with eggs or something like that? I don't remember. Did we cover everything?
Eggs. I don't remember there being one for eggs.
Okay. Well, I think we covered everything.
Yep.
Anything else you want to add?
No.
All right. Well, this is how we're doing it.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to another episode of How We're Doing It. We want to hear from you. Contact us at hwdipodcast@gmail.com or leave a comment. If you like the show, consider subscribing in order to get notified of new episodes. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you again on the next episode.
Mama. Bye-bye.